From the Pillar and Post in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Music Niagara presents The Not So Late Show with Joe Pillitteri, with myself, Colin Maier, and Quartetto Gelato. Tonight, we welcome Shaw Festival's Tim Carroll, the brothers from Between the Lines Winery, Julie Nesrallah and Guy Few, and young virtuoso Sora Sato-Mound. And now, your host, Joe Pillitteri.
Life is just better with Colin Maier and Quartetto Gelato. I love these guys. Welcome to the Not So Late Show. It's our first episode. We're here with Music Niagara. Music Niagara's been bringing the very best in music and culture and everything that's great about Niagara to the area. And with COVID and everything that's happened, I've gotten a chance to know my good friends over here from Quartetto Gelato. And we're here for our first ever show. And I, for one, couldn't be more excited. We're standing in the library at the Pillar and Post. The Pillar and Post, one of the most gorgeous properties you'll ever stay in. It was built in the 1890s as a fruit cannery. It was a fruit cannery. I grew up on a fruit farm. It has that vibe where it used to be a fruit cannery, but it's world class here. They've got an outdoor skating rink. They've got a spa, the 100 Fountain Spa that's been named one of the top 25 spas in the world, and it's just gorgeous here. I couldn't be more excited to be here because I'm getting tired. We're all getting tired of everything, right? We're all getting tired. I'm going to Florida tomorrow, though, guys. I'm going to Florida. I am. I went to the outlet mall. I went shopping yesterday to the outlet mall to get some stuff, some swim trunks, tank tops, that kind of thing, because the world should be able to see what's happening here. I knew the number on the scale had gone up for me over the past 2 years. I knew, I don't pay that close attention to it, but I have gone, comfortably from a medium large guy to a large XL guy. I tried on a pair of trunks at a store yesterday, and it was one of those things where I didn't even want to walk out to show my wife, because I looked like someone who had never shopped before. They're like, what's my size? I don't know, give me a medium and I'll see if I can squeeze into them. But I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to just being in the sun. COVID is tough. It's tough for everybody. It's tough for my parents. My parents are in their early 80s, and God bless them, but COVID is not going to kill my father. My mother is going to kill my father. It's one of those things where people decided when COVID started and lockdown started and it all changed, people said, I'm going to take up an instrument, or I'm going to learn a language, or I'm going to do something productive. My dad decided he was going to put on his underwear and watch Judge Judy every day. Yeah. He knows every ending to every Judge Judy episode. If you walk in there, my dad is in his gitch, yelling at the television. You watch, he stole the stereo. He stole the stereo. That guy's guilty. Watch, she's gonna yell at him. She's gonna yell at him. But how lucky are we, and how lucky am I to be here with my good friends from Quartetto Gelato, my good friend Colin Maier, and Tino, and Maddie, and Kirk. I'm so thrilled to be here with you guys doing this today. But I couldn't be more excited about who we've got coming today. We've got Tim Carroll, Artistic Director from the Shaw Festival. We've got Greg and Yannick Wertsch from Between the Lines Winery, because we're in Niagara and we're talking wine. We've got a 12-year-old incredible young musician, Sora Sato-Mound, really unbelievable. And we're going to get a chance to hear him play today. And then, of course, we've got Julie Nesrallah and Guy Few. Their show that they're doing is called Heat. And just incredible performers. Of course, you might know Julie from CBC Radio. So we've got them. We've got our friends from Niagara College here, the broadcast, TV, radio, and film program from Niagara College. They're here capturing all of this for all of us. So we want to thank them for being here. And then we've got you guys just playing all day. I love it.
It's perfect. You, us, and a fireplace.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Getting hot in here.
Getting hot in here.
It's hot. There's so much going on. Do you guys mind if I have a seat? It's hot here, and you're going to be standing for the rest of the day, so I'll be just sit down here in my study, if you don't mind.
Stretch it out.
Vintage hotels, can they do it right, or can they do it right?
This is beautiful.
This is awesome. Incredible. And you've not been sitting down. You've been busy, my friends. Quartetto Gelato, tasty tunes. If I want to get this and stream it, where can I?
You know, all the information is available on our website, quartettogelato.ca. There's a store page you can go and you can listen to it through all the different streaming services. You can preview the music. But Mozart to Mancini and Beethoven to John Denver. It's a very, very wide range of eclectic music.
Well, I don't know if I have a CD player in my truck, but I am going to stream it. I am going to listen to you guys because I love listening to you guys. And how excited are you about being here today at the Pillar and Post with the lineup of guests that we have for our first show?
Well, I can say that we're really excited to be here with you, Joe.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Joe Pillitteri,
COVID's
everybody.
done funny things to all of us. If that's your version of a good day, then good for you guys. That's outstanding.
Well, we've been locked down for a long time, Joe. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm excited. You guys are going to be great, and I love listening to you as part of my day. It just puts me in a good mood. If you ever want to just listen to something that, like, what's going to pick me up today? Download Tasty Tunes, and you'll find the answer to that question. So we've got Tim Carroll from the Shaw Festival here today. We've got Greg and Yannick here from Between the Lines Winery. We've got Sora Sato-Mound, this kid, 12 years old. Wow. Gonna blow you away, violinist, pianist, and then of course Julie Nesrallah and Guy Few. Heat. That's the show they're putting on. Heat. I only wish it were warmer in this chair. That's my only complaint about my day so far. So here again from Vintage Hotels, the Pillar and Post. Couldn't be more excited about coming to you with our first episode of the Not So Late Show. He's been the artistic director of the Shaw Festival since 2017. We couldn't be more excited at the Not So Late Show to welcome today Mr. Tim Carroll. TC, come on in. How are you, Tim? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
How good is that?
Bravo.
Don't you wish that Quartetto Gelato could just follow you around throughout the day and just put you in a good mood? That was...
Oh, they do. Did you not know? Yeah. No.
They were here. Oh, so that's what I thought so. I thought we were coming up. Tim, welcome to the Not So Late Show. We're so thrilled to have you here.
Thank you.
You are part of one of the greatest institutions of this town, Niagara-on-the-Lake. Ever since I was a kid growing up in Niagara-on-the-Lake, you'd meet people from out of town and they would say, Shaw Festival. Shaw Festival. So you're part of that. You're part of history. How good is that?
I'm part of history. I don't know if I'd go that far, but my kids would say I am history. Maybe that's similar, but it's a fantastic organization. We were really reminded of our history this year because Christopher Newton, the great artistic director in the golden age of the 80s and 90s, passed away very recently. And it was a chance for us all to realize just what a big thing we're part of.
Absolutely, and I'm sure Christopher never would have imagined that an artistic director would have to deal with the world that you've dealt with in the past 2 years. And that's the big question that everyone has for me when I meet them is, what is happening this year? What are you able to do? And how does it look like the season will pan out for you?
Well, last year, amazingly, we managed to do more than 600 performances. So, we felt as though we didn't let the pandemic cramp our style too much. Of course, the year before was a write-off, but this year we have a full season. We have more shows happening this year than ever in our history, so we're really bouncing back bigger and better, I hope.
And are you seeing that in terms of pre-season sales? Are you seeing the interest and the ignited passion of people from all over looking to travel again and come and visit?
Well, we are really seeing a lot of interest from the States because last year all our American patrons, who make up a third of our audience, were not able to come. So there's a great deal of impatience there to come. And we are finding that people are booking very, very heavily for later in the season. I think some people would still like to let a few more weeks pass before they come. But we can tell them that we have fantastic safety protocols. We have everyone checked as they come in. We all wear our masks. We've had a very good run with the safety.
That's excellent. I'm thrilled to hear that, and thrilled to hear that obviously the success that you were able to achieve last year and we're able to build on for this year is so great. Let me ask you this though: how does it? In all of this, I think we've all wondered, what would I like to do when we're back to normal? And obviously this is a time-consuming job that you're in, but if you with your family could think of, this is what I'd really like to do, this is on my bucket list for when we're back to normalcy, what would it be?
Actually, I'm doing it on Sunday.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to see my kids who live in England.
Excellent.
We're all going to meet in France and have a couple of weeks there,
That's outstanding.
barring disasters. So we're crossing our fingers and
I'll knock on something
taking
for
our
you.
tests and everything. And after that 2 weeks in France, I shall be ready to hit the ground running here.
And where in France are you visiting? Can I ask that question?
Well, I have a little house.
Oh,
in France,
well,
darling.
as you
don't
do.
You know?
As you do.
Yes, it's just north of Toulouse in the southwest of France.
That's a gorgeous area.
It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah, that's excellent. And I'm going to ask you this, because this is a time when a lot of people have been obviously faced with the world not being normal, but it's also been a time for people to dream. So let me ask you this, Tim, if I could ask you TC. They're called TC. If you had a dream project outside of the Shaw Festival, exclude the Shaw Festival, a director you wanted to work with, an actor you wanted to work with, a genre that you've never worked with, what would it be?
I've been so lucky, you know, I've worked with some amazing people. I don't know if I particularly have a bucket list item. I could say, I'll be sad if I go to my grave without doing that.
Excellent.
That way, madness lies anyway. You know, you don't want to do that. But I was very lucky to work with Mark Rylance at the Globe for many years, and we did a couple of productions on Broadway 8 years ago now. It's not really a dream; it's more of a plan. But one of these days, we're going to do that again. We'll do another Shakespeare on Broadway.
Oh, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. And in the meantime, where do I go? Where do I tell my friends? Where do I sign up for tickets for the Shaw Festival this year? Because I'm going to start. I'm going to get back into the entertaining business myself this year. So what's the best way to get situated with the Shaw Festival?
Well, of course, the best way is to become one of our friends or join our Governor's Council, and then you get first dibs at everything.
Okay.
And an extraordinary range of benefits and access to what we do. We're very close with our Governor's Council and our friends. We really have got to know them and welcome them into our rehearsal rooms. But in the first instance, go to shawfest.com.
Shawfest.com. And I can sign up as a friend of Shaw Festival there as well?
Yes.
Excellent. Tim, thank you so much for spending time with us today on the Not So Late Show. I look forward to seeing your work on stage this summer, and wishing you and everyone at the Shaw the very best.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
Cheers. When I read the bio for our next guest, I was blown away. He's only 12 years old, but he's a world-class violinist, and he's composed his own music. He's a visual artist, and he's incredible. Please welcome Sora Sato-Mound. Pretty decent band, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not bad. This is I've been with them all day here. I love these guys.
Yeah.
Sora, I read your story and I was blown away because now you can Google anybody's name and you were out there like world class. What was your first memory? Because you're 12 years old and I'm watching you perform online. What was your first memory of saying, this is something I want to do?
Well, my dad introduced me to Ashley McIsaac's violin playing, and that was like, wow, that's cool. And I listened to it, and I started off by making my own makeshift violin that did not work. It was a plastic banjo and Lego brick.
You made your own violin?
Yeah. It's not really a violin, it's more like a failure.
Okay. Failure is the mother of all success. I think that's the term that they use. That's still incredible. And so, but then you started playing, obviously with purpose. How old would you have been when you started?
I was 3 when I first got my real violin.
Wow. And is it something that you wake up thinking, I'm looking forward to this. This is something that drives me.
Yes. Well, usually I wake up thinking I'm very tired and now I have to go to school. But when I get home, then I practice.
That's awesome. How many hours a day would you practice violin? Because
I aim for 3 hours a day, usually. I practice as much as I can, but sometimes like I have busier days than others.
what would be the largest crowd that you've played in front of? I realize it's been a little different the past couple of years with COVID, but what would have been the largest crowd that you've played in front of?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, but recently, not that recently, but recently I had a performance at Mazzolini Hall at the Royal Conservatory in Toronto, where it was a full house and they were sold out of.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And then it's not just the music. If you look up behind me on the mantle here, you've brought some of your artwork. I am personally terrified of the clown you drew from It. I don't know why you did that to me. I think you know that is you must have known, you must have read about me. That is my biggest fear, to be killed by a clown, and now here it is right behind me.
That was not intentional.
When did you start drawing? When did you start realizing that was something you're interested in?
Well, when I first picked up a marker, I started drawing a lot of elephants.
Really?
Which was entirely just circles and lines.
Yeah.
Very ugly.
No,
But I liked drawing, and then I gradually got better at it. And yeah,
So you've got
I spent time doing it.
There's an alien up there, or predator. Is it alien or predator?
Yeah, it's the predator.
The
yeah.
predator. Yeah. See, I'm not. See, I'm very old compared to you, but I get it. And then Spider-Man. You've got a Spider-Man.
Yes.
And then you've done a sculpture up there. A frog.
Yeah, it's a frog. I did that recently.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do you do? What's relaxing for Sora?
Well, I like to just listen to music that I like.
Would that be classical or?
Yeah, I mostly listen to classical, specifically like 20th century classical
That's
music.
incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to hearing you perform today. If you want to have some fun and recognize what commitment and dedication looks like in a young man that's only 12 years old, please have a look at what Sora's got out there online, Sora Sato-Mound, and we are really looking forward to hearing you perform today. Thank you so much for being with us today on the Not So Late Show.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
How lucky are we at the Not So Late Show to be graced by the violinist of a prodigy in every sense of the word. This young man is 12 years old, and he's joining us today playing Bach's Jig from Partita No. 2 for solo violin. Please welcome Sora Sato-Mound. So as if that wasn't good enough, Sora Sato-Mound has also written a composition. I'll remind you that he's 12 years old. He's written his own composition at age 12. We decided to name it here at the Not So Late Show because he didn't have a name for it yet. So we've called it Composition de Sora 3A. So please welcome Sora Sato-Mound with his composition. Keep it going for Sora Sato-Mound. That was incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your talent with us today. I was blown away by you, young man. We're here at one of the treasures of the Vintage Hotel properties, the Pillar and Post. Exemplary service, world-class dining, an award-winning spa, a year-round outdoor pool, and here I am in the gardens. That's right, the gardens. You might think that you're in Guverne, France right now at the Monet Gardens, but no, you're right here at the gardens at the Pillar and Post. And if they were going for that Zen-like feel, guess what? They found it. You know what else they have here at the gardens at the Pillar and Post? An ice rink. The Winter Olympics just ended, and I never got a chance to skate for Team Canada because I didn't have a chance to practice. That's all changed now. I need music. Well, it doesn't look like my Olympic dream's going to come true, but it doesn't matter because I'm here at the Outpost in the gardens at the Pillar and Post, and they've got everything I need to make me feel better.
You got something on your nose there.
Thank you. So this time of year, or any time of year, visit any one of the Vintage Hotel's properties for exceptional experiences. You can't talk about Niagara-on-the-Lake without talking about wine. I am thrilled today to bring two good friends from Between the Lines Winery in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Mr. Greg and Yannick Wertsch. Have a seat, gentlemen. How you doing? Give me one of these, one of these. cool is that? Have you ever had that kind of intro at the winery?
No, but I should get my own band.
You need a house band.
I need
a house band for the tasting room. I want to see sales go through the roof. Welcome, gentlemen. Greg and Yannick, brothers working together in the wine business. How easy is that?
Well,
The wine helps.
the wine does help a lot, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we're thrilled you joined us today at the Not So Late Show. Let me ask you this, because the world is still kind of a topsy-turvy place. How do you feel about how things are going at the wineries right now? How do you feel about traffic and the normalcy and the sense of getting back to normal of it all? What do you think?
Well, COVID's definitely had a bit of an impact on us. But I think all in all, last year we did reasonably well. Excellent. Traffic's picking up. People are sort of getting comfortable with the protocols, are staying safe, they're having fun. We ran without hiccups for the entire year, other than the shutdowns.
Yeah.
And we're slowly seeing people coming back, especially newcomers.
Nice.
We're getting a ton of people down in Niagara that we haven't seen before, that we couldn't reach before. And they're all trying to explore their own backyard, which is really, really great. That's
awesome. That's awesome. Yannick, you're working in the tasting room, so you would be the one with the most firsthand experience of the dreaded bachelorette party at the wineries. Any indication that that's getting back to normal? Tell me about the worst or best bachelorette party you've ever hosted.
Yeah.
And don't be shy. This is the Not So Late Show.
I'll try to stay positive. We've had some bachelorette parties that have actually been quite interested in the wine.
Oh, really?
So they actually did come and wanted to do tastings. They wanted to find out about winemaking, stuff like this, which is my specialty. But we have had ranges of other ones as well.
See how diplomatic that was? We've had ranges of other ones, just...
But it's, interestingly enough, with all the new protocols that are in place, it's actually made it much more focused on the wine for our tastings.
That's excellent.
It's worked for us.
Not cowboy hats and that kind
No,
of thing.
no cowboy hats and no other types of hats
Or bring
anymore.
your own beer inside the winery.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
none of that anymore.
Well, to be fair, this little product hasn't really helped all that much with those parties.
So I saw this. So this is what I love about Wineries in Niagara. They've the vibe of being completely snooty about wine and completely high tier, upper echelon. It has to be expensive. We have to drink it in a quiet room. You're kind of, with products like this, Outset, you're kind of smashing that stigma. What is happening with Outset?
Well, the biggest thing for us was how do we reach more people that want to drink Niagara wine, right? Because there's a lot of people that do want to come down here, support these wines, enjoy these, like maybe take them to the cottage or somewhere else, and you might not always have the proper glassware, or you don't have whatever, a bottle opener, all that sort of stuff with you. So the big important thing for us, especially with this, was to make sure it's a VQA product. We want to make sure it's like grown down in Niagara, it's made at the wineries, and we're actually helping a lot of others getting into canning as well. The idea really was to try and make it a little bit more flexible. We've had really great events with it, where you had, say, like a museum opening, and you could walk with one of the cans and have a look around and all this stuff. It's been hugely successful.
That's excellent. You note on the website that don't be afraid to drink it with a straw. So and that's great. VQA is Vintners Quality Alliance, and that's a good indication that it's made from 100% Ontario grown grapes, and of course it doesn't have to be in a glass to be wine. This is a canned sparkling wine, right?
Yeah, I've noticed, for example, that I've had to hand out warnings with this because the regular glass, pour yourself a glass, you can enjoy it. You sort of know where you're at with the cans. You drink those around the pool and drink the first can, fine. Second can, fine. Third can, you're like,
How long does this afternoon last? How long have I been in the pool?
That's right. It's time to get the floaties out. Right?
That's awesome. So here's another thing that I found out about you guys, and I didn't know it was actually your winery, but guilty pleasure of mine when I was a kid, Saturday afternoons, a grilled cheese sandwich, and I am someone who's never fished, but for some reason I would watch Bob Azumi fishing. I would watch it, just be glued to it, just to look at what this guy was doing. You guys have a partnership with Bob Azumi. Tell me about that.
That's right.
Yeah, we've partnered with Bob and Wayne for a number of years now. Usually have a white and red wine that we blend together for them. And in the past, what we used to do actually was that we made the blends based off their family and friends, all visiting together as a crew, kind of tasting, going through the wines, finding out what they liked, and then putting those wines on the shelves. Nice. And off the wines themselves, we always donated $1 to their Fishing Forever Foundation so they could help sort of promote wildlife habitation preservation.
How nice is that? See, these are the things that you learn on the Not So Late Show.
That's right.
Tell me about this. Any upcoming events? Anything that you're excited about this spring, summer, as we sort of get back into the season?
Well, we're actually planning to do more events again. Like COVID's put a lot of dent in those things with our occupancies and all that sort of stuff. And we're slowly trying to do our even from simple things like yoga in the vineyard. You know, we used to do a music event at the winery as well, where we had local artists, and we said, you know what, we'll give you guys a platform to come out, and the only condition was it had to be original songs.
Oh, wow.
They had to bring their own Canadian style music.
You can't.
Yeah, and then no cover bands, so they had to bring their own stuff because we're proud of what we make. So we're like, why don't we help some other artists and they can show off what they can do as well. So we're hoping to maybe bring that one back.
That's outstanding. Sounds like an opportunity for Music Niagara. That's what it's called to me. That sounds like an opportunity. So just see how I'm picking up on things as we go. Greg and Yannick, can't thank you guys enough for stopping by today and being part of our very first Not So Late show. If you want to see Greg and Yannick, visit them. What's the address on 4 Mile Creek Road?
So we're on 991 4 Mile Creek Road.
991 4 Mile Creek Road, or Creek Road as it's known in the local circle here. Greg and Yannick, thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Cheers. When we came up with the idea for the Not So Late show, we were thinking, let's get some great musical guests to be part of this. And did we ever knock it out of the park? Please welcome Julie Nesrallah and Guy Few. It's sassy. So good. We do this. We do this.
Love
Julie.
it.
Yeah.
Love it.
How good are they? The
Oh
Quartetto
my
Gelato. Colin Maier and the Quartetto Gelato. They put me in a good mood all day. This is find me the jerk that is not happy being around those people.
Right?
And the shoes.
Yeah.
Not to be shoe-centric or anything, but
But look at the sassy level with the two of you coming in here. That is sassiness defined.
We
Look at
spoke
you.
on the phone about it.
Did you really? So good.
did. I'm like, what color are you wearing? He said, what color are you wearing? I said,
Well, it has to go, really.
You guys are a thing. You guys are a show. You're a
We
show.
are.
We are
Tell
a
me
show.
about Heat, the show. Tell me about Heat, the show with Guy Few and Julie Nesrallah.
okay,
Where to
where to
start?
Well, I don't. We just met like less than a year ago,
Yeah.
which is crazy bananas because I have heard Guy's name and known people that know Guy and been on the same agency. I mean, it's just been ridiculous that our paths haven't crossed. Well, last summer, was it last summer? It doesn't matter.
It
Not
was.
very long ago.
It was last
We
summer.
were put together for a little show called Carmen on Your Couch at the Festival of the Sound. And it was a very small show, but we
Every show is a very small show now, right? That's
kind of is,
Yeah.
but at least there are shows.
Yes, absolutely.
So we were put together for this show, and I had no idea that he played piano. So I thought we were going to do everything with trumpet, and was wondering how are we going to manage
It was the
all this?
weirdest
It was
phone
the
call.
weirdest phone
She called me and she said, so, how are we doing this? And I said, well, what do you want to do? And she said, well, I was thinking these, but how are we going to do it? And I said, what do you mean how? And finally, I realized that she didn't realize that I was a pianist.
You can play well, and honestly, you're world-renowned trumpet player, and it's just like another one of those talents you have. By the way, I'm really good on piano too. Oh,
Yeah, he's kind of a genius.
yeah, that's awesome.
So we came together for this show, and
So much fun.
and we were practicing one day, and he just said, Heat. I said, what? He said, Heat. I have a great name for a show. And I said, oh, do I have some great pieces? So we decided to put together this show that was actually, the word for it is sexy.
Really?
So it's
Yeah,
all of
definitely.
like the sexiest music, classical music for singers. And a lot of it isn't veiled, isn't metaphoric. It's really kind of right out there and telling you what people are doing.
Really?
So we have this repertoire filled with some of the sexiest and even I'm going to use the word raunchy.
Really?
Because even though it's
So
in a pretty
good.
package,
So good.
the words are pretty raunchy.
Yeah, it's true.
Some of these raunchy songs by Claude Debussy, Manuel de Falla, Javier Monsalvatge.
Even the way you pronounced
Right?
those composers.
Javier, get me another mojito, Javier.
So Julie, you host Tempo on CBC Radio.
I sure do.
CBC Music, and I will say this: social media has changed the landscape for the radio host because all of a sudden everybody is focused on social media. They now know the radio host. They know the person behind the microphone. Before I ever knew what you looked like, I've heard your voice in the background at my mother's house every day that I go there.
Well, say hello to her for
I
me.
will say hello to my mom. She's lovely.
What's her name?
Margaret. Yeah.
Hi, Margaret.
Very vibrant, lovely-looking woman.
Love it.
That's what she calls you. And she's not wrong. She is not wrong. But this viral video that came out, and I remember you being one of the first that I saw. You're singing on a balcony. You're singing O Sole Mio.
On my balcony.
On your balcony.
Hoping
Is
not.
that Toronto, downtown?
It's in downtown Toronto.
Because it looked like Italy. Like it looked like.
Well, I was
Venice.
inspired by Italy.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy who sang when Italy was super bad right at the beginning. Remember, nobody was going anywhere. It was one of the harshest lockdowns, and people were making music on their balconies and gigging, but together but separately. And there was this guy singing something off his balcony, and I just thought it was actually St. Patrick's Day. So we had only been like 5 days into
10
it
days,
officially for me. I left work on the 12th, so this was the 17th. And I was sitting with my boyfriend, my partner, and I said, you know, that would be a great thing to do. And so I just put it out on social media. Hey guys, do you think I should try this? And the response to that was crazy. That went viral. And then he looked at me and he said, well,
No choice.
now you have
You're
to do
in
it,
with
right?
both feet
You have to do it
now.
now. And I was a little bit scared because you don't know how people are going to react. And when you're filming something out on the street, you know, people can shout obscenities, shut up being one of them. And I thought, oh my gosh, and if they tell me to do that, I'm just going to have to start over and do it again. So it's going to defeat the purpose. But we did it, and we did it quickly. I had no clue what was going to happen. And I put it out there, and it just exploded.
Go Google, if you Google Julie, and if you type in Julie, Nes, it fills out the rest. Nesrallah O Sole Mio. And it was a thing of beauty.
200 I mean, you know, we're talking, you know, I'm not the Beatles.
No, you're
and I'm
the
not
Beatles.
the Stones. Well, I kind of am on the inside. I wish I am, but, you know, to have like over 280,000 views, I think it's like 283,000 clicks.
That's incredible. We're going to put it over 300,000 after this. That's
Yeah.
right.
Share
my
it,
instructions.
tweet it,
All right.
retweet it, like it.
Julie, that's wrong. And Guy, you have an interesting story, Guy. You teach music. You're a virtuoso trumpet player, world-renowned. In preparing for this, I had no idea your backstory. You had to relearn your instrument twice as a result of a rare blood clot condition. And you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, the condition is a genetic condition, and it is the malformations are called cavernomas or cavernous hemangiomas, and they are like little knots of blood vessels that bleed or grow because of stress or exhaustion or pressure or plane travel.
Yeah.
So those things can be very dangerous. And my first one, after the surgery, I lost my ability to speak French, German, about a third of my English vocabulary, and all of my memory of my repertoire, my fine motor skills. So as a trumpet player, I couldn't buzz, I couldn't breathe. As a pianist, I couldn't go 1, 2, 3. My hands would flip and drag down the keyboard. So I had to teach myself over again.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and the second brain surgery was similar, but I knew how to do it by that time. So it was much faster, yeah.
And it's inspiring to me because one of the greatest influences in my life is Terry Fox and the Terry Fox Foundation. I have a strong involvement with them, and I tell all 4 of my kids, don't look to influencers to show you the way. Look to people that are living the Terry Fox story. And the first thing I thought when I read your story was, my goodness, is to love something that much, to reteach yourself twice in a lifetime. You're in the book now. You're in the book
thank you.
That,
You know, we have a choice. We have a choice to sit on the sofa and eat donuts for the rest of our life after a major crisis like this, or to follow our instinct and move forward. And I chose to follow my instinct and rebuild my life.
I love that. I love that you could share that with us today, because that inspires me. Something I didn't know today that inspires me, and how good is that? Look, bonus content for the Not So Late Show. So let me ask you this: you've been kind enough to agree to perform for us today. I don't want to butcher anything in terms of composers or pieces. Can you tell me what we'll be hearing today?
All right, so we were going to start with a piece by Javier Montsalvatge from his 5 Black Songs, and it's called the Punto de Habanera. So it's about a young little mixed-race girl who goes down by the docks wearing her white crinoline, and it's being sung from the point of view of a bystander, someone who's watching her and saying, "You go there, little girl. You are beautiful. Your skin is just gleaming and you smell like fresh oranges." And she's going down there in her white crinoline
I see where this is going.
Meet some of the sailors.
Yeah.
And so there's this kind of, oh yeah, you go girl down there with your white crinoline. Mm-hmm. And even at the end, Montsalvatge has included a little bit of in the score to accentuate that kind of, oh yeah, you go.
Excellent.
And then we decided to do one of the more explicit, this really overt kind of sexy tune by Claude Debussy. I said to Guy when I first went to rehearse it with him, I said, this is about as grown up as it gets. The music is hard, the subject matter is hard. So it's about this young girl who has met a young guy in the forest, and it's about their encounter.
I see where it's going.
And it's quite graphic.
Is it really?
It is. So the music kind of hides it, but she's telling it from the point of view of after the fact, as if you were telling, your girlfriend the next day. So he said to me, your hair is like a long black cover that's wrapping itself around my chest, and it goes on and on like that, and there is actually a line in it where she says, and then he entered me.
Really?
So it gets really kind of, I'm telling you, we weren't kidding. It gets really, and these are songs in the standard repertoire, we didn't have to go and search through some sexy archive or anything like that. It's out there. And at the end, she says, when he was finished. So you have all these markers. She said, he looked at me with a look that was so tender that I had to look away with a shudder. And the third one is a selection from Manuel de Falla's 7 Spanish songs about having a broken heart, and how the singer in it is not only cursing this broken heart, but cursing love itself.
Really?
Hot stuff.
And that is heat. That's heat.
That's right.
It's pretty hot.
Is the fireplace on?
No.
What's happening here?
Turn it on. Let's crank up the heat.
I'll tell you what. I, for one, I want to thank you both for being here with us today on the Not So Late Show, and I can't wait to hear you perform.
Great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. So please welcome Julie Nesrallah and Guy Few with selections from Heat.
La niña criolla pasa con su virilla, que blanco, que blanco. Hola, crespón de tus mamas, marineros contemplando, abajo de tu de luna, que le hacen su piel mulata. Niña, no te quejes, tan solo por esta tarde, quisiera mandar al agua. Que no se escape de pronto de la cartera. mia criolla posa con sole rigno che blanco, che blanco. Il m'a dit cette nuit j'ai rêvé j'avais ta chevelure autour de mon cou. J'avais des cheveux comme colliers noirs autour de ma nuque et sur ma poitrine. Je les caressais, c'étaient les miens, et nous étions liés pour toujours assis par la même chevelure, la bouche sur la bouche, ainsi que de laurier nous sauva qu'une racine. Et peu à peu, il m'a semblé tant nos membres étaient confondus que je devenais toi-même. Oh, que t'es Andrés comme mon songe. guarda la pena me pecho, che a nadie se la direi.
Wow. Wow. Julie, Nesrallah, Guy Few. That was heat. That was heat. Thank you so much for being part of our show. You guys are amazing. Amazing. You know what I think would be so excellent? Right here in the library at the Pillar and Post, if we heard some tunes from Quartetto Gelato.
How about some tasty tunes?
Tasty tunes, even better.
That's great. This is Beethoven's Sonata Pathétique. It's one of his most famous pieces he ever wrote. And we wondered, our friend Charles Cousins, who's an arranger, arranged this piece for us. What if Beethoven was on a beach in Cuba when he wrote this piece with a little mojito?
Yes.
We think
Yes.
we think it would have sounded something like this.
You blow me away every time. My good friends from Quartetto Gelato, Mr. Kirk Starkey, Mr. Matti Pulki, Mr. Tino Popovich, and Mr. Colin Maier. You guys are incredible. What a day I've had with you today. And what a day right here in the Vintage Hotels at the Pillar and Post. Couldn't think of a better spot for our first episode of the Not So Late Show. And let's not to forget to thank our friends from Niagara College, from the broadcasting, radio, television, and film program, who have been here to capture all of this for all of you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time on the Not So Late Show. Thank you so much.